Application is a kind of arts and crafts to which 1,000 years. And today, these working methods with textiles and other materials give the chance to get, instead of a scattering of small, seemingly unnecessary rags, fine patterns and difficult ornaments. Simple application will decorate a patchwork quilt, a skirt, and even becomes an illustration of the textile book. We master classical and reverse application. Today with you, Tatiana Lazareva. Hello, dear viewers. Inimitable Gabrielle Chanel asserted that the fashion comes, leaves, but style remains. And really, while the rapid fashion changes were important, having saved their own face, to become the mistress of your own style, and not to become the slave of the fashionable industry. We will give a free range to our fancy and will create our own style. Very often, when people take fabric rags in hands, they want to make something unusual. Also, it's necessary to keep up this creative initiative. Usually traditions form so. In other words, at first, the man tries something, many people like this, it becomes a fashionable tendency, and then already cultural tradition. Probably the same way as it was 1,000 years ago, when the man hasn't thrown a rack of expensive silk fabric in a litter basket, has decided to fix it on the basis of anything and to make of it, to begin with, a patch, and then it became fine application. And many people keep up this cultural tradition today, and application is very often used on the most creative things. There are many kinds of application. Sometimes work with felt, then simply laying details on the fabric, a seam forward, a needle on perimeter, fix very easily and have very interesting type of application, because at thick cloth and felt fabrics the edge isn't frayed out. But sometimes we want very much to try with the most different fabrics, for example, thick or pliable fabrics, which easily change the form. Then, to fix application on the fabric, use such method by means of a paper or a cardboard template. We cut out any interesting form of a fantastic animal, the butterfly, or any unusual flower. I took the simple form, the form of a bird, a cunning fellow, and have cut out the detail with joint margins, at which I have fixed joint margins inside out by means of the iron. And you will only need to fix all around the perimeter on the basis by a secret stitch. Your application can be ideal flat and can be volume. Then, having left a small hole, you can add perimeter processing using the tweezers or simple by means of a pencil or other accessible subject to fill with small fluffed-up synthetic winterizer. And then your application becomes volume. The following stage, we unclose the lining with a synthetic winterizer and quilt already this detail. You can make it by means of the sewing machine by any decorative seam or a straight stitch and can underline manually some layers and contour of the application. It will be interesting. Here what we have. It's simple enough application with the minimum quantity of details, but nevertheless for a children's room it can be bright accent. You see that we have passed by a secret stitch on perimeter and have certainly paid attention that when we sewed pose, we have pushed them under the top basic detail that not to process once again their edges. You take a small needle, a thin thread, and this is desirable, ideally suited on color to your application. We have finer on side. These are even stitches which look very good. We have processed all knit. And one more important point. You have paid attention that we have shrunk and have starched fabrics before cutting out contours. You can starch fabric by any way you know. Liquid starch, or such convenient, modern and interesting way when you simply moisten a surface and to hold an iron platform. Starch creates an even and smooth surface, and then is easily enough fixed on our contour templates, which we use as such cliché. Really, it's not very much difficult method, but with it, it's possible to play and experiment. In the nursery, it's possible to fly such interesting textile herd of goose, which will also create any rhythmic, color, fantastic or magic mood. The first detail is ready, it was asleep, and we start the second method. We take a background fabric, we cover it with fabric which will be aligning face to face, and draw on the lining the contour of our application. Then we lay on perimeter a cup seaming, cut out inside, and turn inside out lining fabric. In the first case, we put application on the basis and fixed by a secret stitch. Now, one more kind of reverse application. Reverse because we will enclose a fabric from the wrong side. Preliminary, having made a special hole of the necessary form. We also will have a goose that we could compare the first and second application. All is very easy to make. We lay the lining fabric right side on right side of a background fabric and draw a contour of the goose, and it's possible to take the butterfly or any interesting plant of the difficult form. Then we lay a cup seaming and this lining, having cut the hole of the necessary form, put on the wrong side. We lay a cup seaming on difficult perimeter, then we cut the hole of the necessary form and put lining on the wrong side. Here it's very important to make transition edge on the wrong side, that the hole won't show the wrong fabric of the lining. Then all of this we stitch by diagonal basting stitches and fix with an iron platform, that the application edge will be very even and straight. Look at the transition edging. We have turned the right side inside out, that the contour outside didn't show the wrong fabric of the lining. And thus we have got the even contour of the form necessary to us. You have paid attention that we have fixed by a diagonal basting stitches the lining, that the transition edging was fixed equally spaced on all perimeter. The last stage. Pay attention that we have nothing in vain. We will use the cutout contour for a wing. In other words, we don't throw out this fabric, but use. We enclose it under the hole and fix by secret stitches. And then already this fabric we put from below on the wrong side, under the contour of red fabric, and we have the reverse application. The masterclass is finished. The medieval demostroy confirmed that skilled workers are good wives, the income and savings in all. Really, peace to your home, harmony to your family, and who is proud of beauty, who of comfort, who of property, long life to the artist who proud of art. With you, there was Tatiana Lazareva. Good luck and 2 new meetings.